Welcome back to our channel. Today is the 11th of August, 2025. In a time when hope hangs by a thread and the masses are anxiously awaiting the fulfillment of long-promised financial relief, any action or statement that seems to trivialize their expectations becomes a spark in dry grass. The current atmosphere in the grant and disbursement ecosystem is one of anticipation mixed with tension. Every update is scrutinized, every move is watched, and every delay adds another layer to the people's frustration. Against this charged backdrop, a storm of criticism has erupted, led by Comrade Joe, directed squarely at Pastor Donald. Pay attention to this.
Good morning, everyone. This is Comrade Joe. I'm here this morning to firstly appreciate Pastor Donald Obasi, the SSC to Just Lovely team. Thank you, sir, for the work I've been doing so far. We appreciate your tenacity and your competency so far. I haven't listened to your VN yesterday on the 10th day of this month, Sunday. I love what you said. Good and fine. But the issue I have with you, sir, is that if we are expecting disbursement and we should be anticipating for it, why the issue of selling slots again? Now, won't they prepare now after those who register now, between now and Wednesday, won't they be able to, prepare them for the disbursement? So why the selling of slots? And that's my concern, sir. I believe by now, if we expect this in this month of August, we should stop selling slots, sir. And that's why I'm not happy with you. No matter how genuine is your updates, sir, I can tell you boldly as a pastor, if you are a pastor, the issue, tell those who are sent you that you will not be able to do that job. Because it's somehow disheartening. We have been waiting for years and we are still selling slots. By this time, Pastor Obasi, I respect you so much, sir. I will have said you should keep quiet for now and stop talking. Please, I'm concerned again with the issue of selling slots. By this time, I don't expect anyone to be selling slots. Martin came on last week and told us that, okay, by Monday, today, the selling of slots will stop. You have come again yesterday. You are telling us that it's extended to Wednesday night. May God bless all the pastors in this grand community. I began to suspect you, sir. Please, let's be cautioned, please, sir. I'm begging us, sir.
Comrade Joe, while acknowledging and appreciating Pastor Donald for his consistent updates, did not hold back in voicing his deep displeasure over a glaring contradiction. On one hand, there are claims that the disbursement process is ongoing, that getting is in motion, and that beneficiaries are either already receiving funds or about to. Yet on the other hand, the selling of slots, an activity many view as a commercial side business rather than part of the core disbursement process, is still in full swing. To Joe and many others, this raises a troubling question. If funds are indeed flowing, why is there still a push to sell slots instead of focusing entirely on delivery to the masses? In his pointed criticism, Comrade Joe did not mince words. He sternly indicted Pastor Donald for, in his view, intertwining the controversial business of slot selling into what should be a purely humanitarian and transparent process. He made it clear that the masses, ordinary people who have waited through months, if not years, of promises, are no longer in the mood for side distractions. Joe's position is rooted in a very practical concern. The people need updates that are cogent, reasonable, and progress-oriented. This is not the time for promotional pitches or commercial add-ons. When trust is already stretched thin, even the appearance of a profit-driven angle can damage credibility and sow division among stakeholders. He argued that the repeated insertion of slot-selling narratives into public updates dilutes the seriousness of the mission. Instead of building confidence, it feeds suspicion and shifts focus away from the pressing question, when will the actual disbursement reach the intended beneficiaries in full? In a moment that can only be described as a verbal slam, Joe declared that Pastor Donald should either 1. Stop promoting slot selling altogether in any official communication tied to the grant process. Or 2. Cease giving updates entirely if those updates cannot focus exclusively on clear, verified progress toward full disbursement. To Joe, the integrity of the process is non-negotiable. Every stakeholder in this movement has a responsibility to prioritize the expectations of the people above any form of personal gain or peripheral venture. The inclusion of slot selling in an already complex and sensitive agenda risks eroding the moral foundation on which such a community initiative should stand. From Joe's perspective, this isn't simply about optics, it's about trust. At a time when rumors, misinformation, and conflicting reports abound, the public relies heavily on leaders and spokespersons to provide a straight, unfiltered account of developments. Anything that blurs that clarity, whether intentional or not, can undermine the collective effort. Joe's rebuke also points to a deeper undercurrent of frustration with what many perceive as a lack of synchronization between different factions or figures involved in the process. When one person claims disbursement is ongoing while still engaging in activities tied to pre-disbursement revenue generation, it creates a credibility gap that is hard to close. For the masses, the desired outcome is clear. Stop talking about selling, start talking about receiving. The emphasis must shift entirely toward final execution, not perpetuation of preparatory mechanisms. Comrade Joe's remarks are not merely an emotional outburst. They represent a sentiment echoed by many in the waiting crowd. His statement is both a warning and a call to refocus. If updates continue to mix hope with controversy, the public's patience may wear thin to breaking point. And in such a climate, even leaders with the best intentions can lose their moral authority if they appear disconnected from the pressing reality on the ground. In summary, Joe's confrontation with Pastor Donald is more than a personal disagreement. It is a public reminder that when the stakes are this high, the message must be as clean as the mission. People are not interested in supplementary agendas when the primary goal remains unfulfilled. The credibility of the process, and those who lead it, depends on keeping that focus razor sharp. The ball now is in Pastor Donald's court. Will he heed the call, cut off the slot-selling narrative, and double down on delivering tangible results? Or will the controversy deepen, further eroding public confidence? For now, one thing is certain. Comrade Joe has made it clear that the people are watching, and they are done tolerating anything that distracts from the goal, the full and timely release of what they have been promised.